me show you a mechanism to speed up reporting, especially for large batches where you have low hit rates. And it's important to understand how that works. The mechanism is to mark the compound group over that reporting limit. Use the sample outlier to measure. So what we're going to do is to utilize a feature in the report generator which allows me to use the compounds that I want to report on. Now, if that compound is seeing a hit in that batch, I want to report on it. I'm going to mark it with the compound group using a script. That set is much smaller than the overall set of compounds, greatly reduce the speed to generate that report. So in batches at a glance, I'm going to run a script or mark compound group over the reporting limit, which will end up all the compounds which have exceeded that that'll end up and then import a report. Let's do that in the demo. Here in the demo, let me point out first, set up the sample amount outlier so that all of the targets, 71 targets, STDs, amount high of 200. I set the low to 0 so that it won't be triggered on the low side, but the high, if there is a compound that shows an amount over 100, it will be flagged. So let's two batches at a glance and look at Arch. And I look at this sample, you'll see that I'm going to run a script. Tools mark group over the reporting limit. And if you watch closely, the group will be marked for those compounds. So here's one where it says the sample amount is over the limit. That compound group now is marked as greater than the reporting limit. So the sample outlier here is related to the reporting limit. So here I am, I'm ready to go. And now I have them marked. So there's 5 cases on here where in sample 5 I have triggered that report limit. Let's report it up. I'm going to go to the report generate and pick my template, talk about in a moment. And I'm going to go to the advanced and over to the panel, which allows me to choose my compounds. So if you look at that list, all the compounds on the list, I sort on compound, which has been marked. Notice that have been marked as the reporting limit in our entire batch. I'm going to select those 5 and ask them to be reported on. Now remember, when you start a report in advance, you're going to need to start the Q viewer. So there it is. Now it's started. This will take a couple of seconds, so let me go over the basics here. What we've done is run a script that marks the compounds that have exceeded this reporting limit, which was set up by the sample amount outlier. And if they have exceeded that reporting limit, then they will end up being marked, generated by the graphics and the reporting, so that you'll see them on the report. And that saves a lot of time, especially if you're in an industry like food safety where your hit rate is low, so the number of compounds that you need to report on is much lower than the total target list that you're going to look at. So now we're finished. We'll go over to the Q viewer and look at our output. So I can look here in the directory. Let me go to the directory, and I can see that I've got the PDF as well as the Excel document. Let's look at the PDF, and you can see here that in sample 5, I have triggered these 5 compounds as hits over this reporting limit, and they're marked by the sample amount outlier. So that shows you a mechanism to set up that will help you reduce reporting time in large batches. Thank you for your attention.